Devo Brown, Boots and Hearts, and we got Bailey Zimmerman. What's going on, man?
Dude, nothing much yet. But thinking about playing a show, so.
Listen, I'm getting ready to introduce you for this show. And is there anything special you want me to say for you? Because you've been just absolutely destroying this.
Thanks, man. Thanks. No, you could be like, hey, get extra lit for Bailey. Because he's going to be really extra lit for you.
Extra lit.
Extra lit, man.
Okay.
I mean, some of these people aren't extra lit, and I'm out there being extra lit, so bring it on. Let's go. Come on.
I love this. Yo, when was it that you realized that this is what you want to do full time, man? Because it's just like, I feel like you were doing a lot of other stuff, and then this kind of just came along, and you're like, I'm going in.
I didn't really think I was like, tried to sing in 2020, like November or something around there. And then I didn't really think it was like gonna be this, of course. I didn't think I'd be like an artist or anything, but I was just having fun writing, like trying to write songs and trying to like learn about just being a singer and stuff. And then the day we really tried to write our first song, like Gavin called me, my buddy Gavin, that's who I started all this stuff with. And he was like, hey man, we've been jamming for a couple weeks but I want to write a real song with you tonight. I just want to see if you can write a song. And I was like, well, man, I'll try my best. I don't know. I've been watching you and listening to your songs. So then, dude, that night we wrote my first single, Never Coming Home. We didn't know we wrote it. We were just like messing around and writing. Right. And dude, next morning, I posted it on TikTok like at 2 a.m. in the morning. And then dude woke up and it like blown up. And that was when I was like, all right, I didn't know if I was going to be big or this or that. I just knew like, all right, I'm going to chase that because I haven't found anything else I want to chase, you know. And then started chasing it and like, it was like, all right, yeah, this could be something. And then now all of a sudden I'm like at Boots and Hearts with Nickelback and Hardy.
And that's it. And speaking of Nickelback, I mean, of course, here in Canada, you had a passport, which is nice. And Chad invites you to his place. You know, you're opening for Nickelback tonight once again. Talk about that experience with him and what you've learned kind of being around guys like that.
To take care of your people, man. I mean, nothing about songwriting. I mean, I've learned things, but the one thing I've learned from Chad Kroeger is that you have to take care of your people. And if you take care of your people, you'll have them for 30 or 45, 50 years, you know. So he takes care of everybody. Like, I mean, he put me on his jet and just flew me to write songs. So it's like, you know, I've learned just being around him, you know, as much as I have the last 6 months, really learned about taking care of your people and never getting ahead of yourself and thinking that it's all about you, you know. And Chad is very good at making people feel welcomed and like, we want you here, we want you to be around, you know. So yeah, taking care of your people is probably one of the biggest things I've learned.
And dude, what, you're 24, right?
23.
23,
yeah.
Gosh, man, I'm aging you already. Look, but this is one thing I think we both have in common, and I say this, people be like, oh, you're a mama's boy, and I'm like, yeah, and I'm proud of it. I feel like we have that in common.
Absolutely, man, of course. I mean, my mom is badass. I mean, she's so sick. She's got spiky hair, smokes cigarettes, shoots you straight. I mean, can sell a pen. I mean, she's just so badass, and I grew up a lot with her because Dad was on the road a lot, so definitely a mama's boy and proud of it, for sure.
And that's part of the reason I know you say, like, you're just saying taking care of your people, but you also take care of your career. At 23, get caught up in the spotlight after like a quick little burst. You could get caught up in the scene and washed out real fast. What keeps you grounded and level?
Man, I'm just a chill dude, I guess. I was poor. At one point, I was very poor. I was about to lose my truck. I didn't have I was living with my mom. And this has all kind of happened so fast that it's like, I don't know any other life but like budgeting and living just like a normal person. And that's what everybody said. They're like, dude, do you want to buy this? Do you want to do this? And I'm like, man, I'm about to buy a house, and I never thought I'd be able to buy a house, so that's pretty cool. And it's just like, I never thought any of these things would even like be a thing. So it's just, I'm just very appreciative to just even be here. That's what I tell like Chad, I'll tell Morgan, tell everybody, I'm like, dude, this is just the coolest shit to do every night. And like, I just am so grateful that one, I ended up being good at what I'm doing, and two, that I have people that really believe in me around me, you know. And it's like having all that and a small town mentality is like just chilling, you know.
Like, you're like, listen, I got all that. I got a couple of chains and a bracelet. I'm good. I don't need anything else that's flashy, right?
Yeah, well, I got all this stuff for free, man. I gotta get it.
Now you're doing it right.
I got it gifted because my first number one was a song called Fall in Love.
That's it.
And they're like, man, we want to get you something. I was like, well, I've had this dreamed up. Like, I thought this would be pretty cool. And they got it, and then I got my chain from Happy Jewelers. My dog, he just like was like, I want to make you a chain because we believe in you and stuff. And it's like, nah, man, I don't try to be flashy. I just love, like, I always say, I love living life to the fullest. Yeah. That's what, living in a small town and, like, living in trailers and not having cars and not having this and having, like, catch rides. And, you know, like, man, there was so long that we didn't even have air conditioning or heating in our house, or, like, you know, so when you get to a point where, like, this is it, my goal was to just be able to buy a house. Yeah. So now I'm just like, all right, I'm chilling. I'm just kind of hanging. I'm so grateful to even be able to own a car and have health insurance. Dude. Like, dude, health insurance, I never thought I'd be able to have my own health insurance. So, man, being here, it's just, like, so easy to be grateful and just on the ground, man. But I have had a couple times where, you know, we were really blowing up really fast and I thought I was the shit, but Ernest told me one time, he said, I was just having, like, one of those days, and then he called me, and I called him. He was like, dude, just take your shoes off, man. Go sit in the grass for a second. And that's, like, every single time I even just get a little remotely off the ground and think I'm better, or think I'm, like, badass or whatever, I just go sit in the grass with my shoes off and just kind of try to humble myself.
That's smart. It's good to have people like that around, because you got people like me being like, yo, you're so good at what you do, which is the truth. When you hear that over and over again, it can gas you up a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Canadian fans, you hear Boots and Hearts, man. Canadian fans and country music is just like this. You've been out to Canada a few times to do a few shows, but just walking around right now, Boots and Hearts in the vibe, and what you're looking forward to tonight, man.
Man, it's really one of a kind. It's so set up here. Boots and Hearts is so, Stan, the owner, is like a kid at heart. So when he did all this, it was like me designing the coolest festival. So I've always heard, like, this is my first time here, first day here, but I've always heard, like, dude, Boots and Hearts is sick, man. Like, they really got it under control. They really got it locked in. There's so many fans, and it's being proven by the second. Literally. So it's I'm very grateful to be in Canada because, like I said, dude, I didn't even think I was gonna be doing music, man. Yeah. So it's cool to not only be listened to in the U.S., but Canada's, like, right at the top with the U.S. It's like the coolest shit ever, man.
Dude, Religiously, the album, when that starts taking off, and like it did, you got so many tracks on there. Look, for me, it was You Don't Want That Smoke. That's the song on there, right? Like, that's what I'm like, okay, girl, okay, I see what you're talking about there. That album started to take off for you, just getting the love that it's gotten. Just talk about that, dude.
Dude, it's cool. Like, I was real nervous to put out a record because I had just started singing, and we were getting it done pretty quick. We had a pretty crazy deadline, and but we pulled it out, man. We went into this cabin, wrote a bunch of songs with some of my favorite people that I love to write with, came into the studio, got it all cut, and we were like, all right, we think this is awesome and we love this. Let's see what the world thinks. And man, first morning I woke up, Religiously, the album, like, just going massive, you know, just doing awesome things. And it was like, let's go. And then they told me that it broke the record for, like, most country debut album streams, like, ever in history, or something like that, you know. And I was like, dude, that's, like, truly unbelievable. Like, are you sure you want to double check that that's stat? Because I feel like that's something to not be thrown around loosely, right? You know. And they're like, no, you have the most streamed debut album of country ever in history. And I'm like, holy shit, man, that is something to hang your hat on, you know. And that's like, but it really, instead of, you know, shooting my head up, it honestly just makes me, like, head down, blinders on, work hard, write songs that you love, keep doing shows, keep grinding, man, because, like, hard work is everything, you know. So it's like, Religiously, the album is cool as shit that it did all that stuff, you know.
Dude, it's been great. You've been great, man. Keep going, keep your head down, like you said. Keep working hard. I know that tour is coming up with you and Josh.
Yeah.
I said to everybody, I said, ladies, that is going to be a problem, fellas. You won't see your girlfriends for a couple of nights because they're going to be checking out them on tour, man.
Yeah, don't leave your girlfriend around Josh Ross.
Ain't that the truth? All right, man. Good to see you.
Thanks for having me, bro. Let's go. This is sick.